You can't say that, watch me. Ain't a man in the world who can stop me. You can't say that, watch me. Go ahead, tell your friends I'm a Nazi. You can't say that, I just did. You can't say that, and I'll say it again. You can't say that, watch me. I got way too big to ignore if you block me.
Good morning and welcome to another special edition of the Clarion Call, Reactions and Opinions. I ordered Tom's new CDs and they came in the mail yesterday. I had a little problem because I couldn't find a working CD player in the house, nor could I find my USB CD player to load the songs on the computer. So I went out last night and I purchased a Sony Dream Machine CD player with enhanced bass. So I'm going to do this review of the new albums old school style. I don't know what the acoustic will sound like, but we're about to find out. I'm going to play my top 5 songs off the 2 albums. By my count, there were 36 songs on the double album, 14 of which I believe had previously been released, so we were already familiar with. So that makes 22 new songs. Now I picked my top 5, and to be honest, I struggled a little bit to get 5 songs that I was really into, and I'll explain as we go. But the 5 songs are really good, so your mileage may vary. I think far and away the best new song on the album is a song called Kids, which I found very, very compelling, and let's start listening to a little bit of that.
I don't want to raise kids in this place. It's unsafe, too dangerous. If they ain't gay by grade 6, then they get shamed for their straightness. Got a Facebook on their iPhone full of pedophiles and rapists. Every little boy sees free porn. Every little girl wants a facelift.
You get the idea. Doesn't want to bring children into this world because things are so terrible for young people, the way that they're being corrupted on every side. I can relate to that feeling. Unfortunately, if good people like Tom won't bring children into the world, we're going to be left with a world that's filled with people raised by not so good people who don't really care about their children and will continue all the bad things that are happening to children. But that's not the part of the song I find most compelling. The chorus, he reflects on his own childhood, and I found that very beautifully done.
Kids are the future, it's dead. Back in my day, we played in the street. We'd end up back at my place and hit the trampoline. Back in my day, bikes and driveways. Kids were just kids back in 1993. Back in my day, cable TV, Nintendo 64, water guns and Sunny D. Back in my day, Pizza Fridays. Kids were just kids back in 1993.
So there you go. Back in his day, way back in 1993, 30 years ago. He's 35 now, so that was 32 years ago. I guess he's reflecting when he was 3 years old. I don't know if you can remember that far back, Tom, but you get the point. You know, it was a much more innocent time, especially with regard to young people. In 1993, my youngest child was 6. I remember those days very well. So that song is off of the TruthHurts CD. And for my number 2 rated song, I'm going to go off of No Lies, which is called Burnt Flag. You'll probably realize if you've ever watched my channel that I'm more interested in the social commentary songs, the political songs, the topical songs. And this song, I think, is extremely topical because it's the subject of whether we're headed for a civil war or not. I think a lot of people feel that that's where we might be headed. We're living in a period perhaps similar to the 1850s where the country was increasingly divided over slavery and we could see the war clouds were brewing. Of course, if we do have a war, it'll look a lot different than the first Civil War, but it will be just as nasty.
Everywhere I look, I see a riot in the street. I see a crackhead out his mind. I see the military and police. I see a protester with a sign. I see a veteran trying to eat. I see a cop car set on fire. I see a liberal yell and scream. I see a little bit of freedom die. Smoke in the sky and the hate in the eyes of America. I see the television trying to justify another woke war. Man, it's terrible. They call them left. I call them commies. I think we're right. They call us Nazis. I see a civil war already coming. People gonna fight till they send in the army.
So what he's describing there is what we see almost every day if we turn on our television sets or pay any attention to the news. Cop cars being burned and protesters screaming and attacking our federal officers. And it's not a good look. This song is very, very powerful and one of my favorites. Perhaps he'll make a video out of this one. Number 3 is also off the same album. It's called You Can't Say That. We've all lived through a period where we were told what we could and could not say. And Tom has been a leader in saying things that you're not supposed to say.
Illegal immigrants are filling up the cities. Half of the rappers in Hollywood have been molested by Diddy. They trying to tell me it's a woman if a man gets some titties. Women addicted to his impact because it's making them skinny. We got a whole generation of kids who woke, whose parents only care about the fentanyl they smoke. We got Katy Perry in space and a liberal pope. When did the land of the free turn into the home of the jokes? We told men masculinity is dangerous. Made pedophile celebrities, made the Satanists famous. Then the Pfizer reject everyone with deadly medication. Then we let them divide us, either black or you're racist. Burn our flag, call us names. Put a swastika on a Tesla with a can of paint. I'ma give it to you straight because everything is gay. I'ma say what I got to say. You can't say that, watch me. Ain't a man in the world who can stop me. You can't say that, watch me. Go ahead, tell your friends I'm a Nazi. You can't say that, I just did. You can't say that, and I'll say it again. You can't say that, watch me. I got way too big to ignore if you block me.
And that's got quite a good beat to it. That also would make a great video. I hope maybe he'll do both of them. Now, for the last 2 songs, I'm going to go back to the TruthHurts album. On these albums, Tom did 4 songs that referenced white boys. He already released White Boy Shit, as you know. But now he's got 3 other white boy songs. White Boy Don't Dance, one called Rock Solid White Boys, and then the one that I think is probably the best of the lot is Blame the White Boys. And this is all about how the media loves to highlight anything that a white person does wrong while ignoring anything that anybody of any other race or color might do wrong. And again, my kind of music.
I ain't the one to blame for the rainbows in classrooms. I ain't the one to blame for police killing black dudes. I ain't the one to blame when the TV gives you bad news. I ain't the one to blame if immigration come and snatch you. White is in the headlines every day. Caucasian man arrested for assaulting someone gay. Mass shooting at the mall, shooters white and 28. If he supports Donald Trump, then he just made the front page. It's insane. If he's brown, all they publish is his name and his age. If he's white, all that matters is his race. I spent my whole life judging people based on their traits, and now the shade of my skin is getting me blamed. They blame me when anything goes wrong. They blame me like everything's my fault. They blame me, but I won't take the fall. 'Cause one bad cracker doesn't represent us all. They wanna blame a white boy, call him racist. They wanna put his face on the evening news. They wanna make the white boys feel dangerous. I swear they want the world to be afraid of everything they do. From white boys in the trailer park and rundown shacks to white boys that a couple little kids call dad. White boys, it don't make a difference what you do. If something goes wrong, they blame it all on you. I ain't the
If
one.
something goes wrong, it's all on you, white boy. So that's very well said. So these first 4 songs meet my criteria for being very politically relevant and very hard-hitting social commentary. Now, the last song I picked is a little bit scary, to be honest. It's the last song on this album, the TruthHurts album, and it's called Goodbye. This reads like a suicide note. In fact, after he talks about how depressed and negative he feels about himself and the world, he goes into a list of what he wants to do with his earthly possessions. He wants to give his Lamborghini to his dad. It's kind of gruesome, really. So I hope Tom can get control of his feelings and not act on those thoughts, because we need him around. We need him in the fight.
I feel like I live on the edge of a knife blade. I've been waking up to nice days, then I get out of bed and the sky's gray. Make fried eggs that I waste, and why the fuck I wanna cry? I got a Lamborghini I could drive. I got a big house full of perfect dogs and a girl that'll be my wife. Too many years of addiction, I'm cooked. All of the Ativan pills that I took, plus all the pressure I hide in depression from all of the people that look. I hate every single song I ever made, but everyone says I'm the GOAT. That's just a joke, sound like my folks. Only good song I ever made was Ghost. I gotta
don't think so.
rewind, my mental health is in a decline. I've been walking through hell, I got 3rd-degree burns and the body's on fire or knee high. This ain't a fallout, this is me jumping intentionally. This is the last middle finger I'm ever gonna give to haters who mentioning me. Make sure my mama knows I made it. Make sure my baby gets a bag. Tell all my haters that I hate them, and give the Lambo to my dad. See, that's the thing about being famous. Yeah, the fame don't ever last. You see the world from a spaceship, and then eventually you crash.
So there it is. He's giving his last will and testament. Make sure, that my mom knows I made it, and give my Lambo to my dad. And basically, he's talking about all his self-doubt, that he never wrote a good song, even though everyone says he's the GOAT. And the only good song he ever wrote was Ghost. Well, that was the song, of course, about his girlfriend, which did have some radio play. But really, Tom, come on. You've had many, many great songs, so I don't know where this is coming from. But like he says, being famous is like being in a spaceship, but then someday you're going to crash. You're on top of the world. You can see the whole world below you, but sooner or later you got to come back to Earth. That was a very depressing note to end the album on. I hope he doesn't make a video about that, because it would probably be too depressing to watch. I have a mixed review of these albums. Obviously, the 14 songs that have been released have some real bangers in there, and if you want to have permanent copies of those, that's worth the price of admission. As far as new material, I feel like there's a lot of filler in here that goes over ground that's been covered before. But I did find 4 good songs that I think are really, really excellent. And that 5th song, which I think is a little bit weird, but hopefully he's not going to follow through on those feelings. So that's my honest review of the new albums. I don't regret buying them. I am hoping that some of those ones on my list will be seen in future videos, because I think there's a message there that really needs to be gotten out, especially that one about kids. Tom is a force of nature.